Hey guys, it's Brittany Wright with Team FHK, and I just wanted to take a quick second and explain how I run my business, or when I sit down to work, how I stay organized and how I work from a list. As a busy mom of two, soon to be three, it's important that when I sit down during nap time or at nighttime, I make the most use of my time. And I have found that making a list and working from that list daily keeps me accountable, but it's also how I do it. So you might not be a pen and paper person. I have found that I am a pen and paper person, and I work best from that system versus using anything in Excel or Google Drive. The only thing I haven't tried yet is Google Streak, and that might be the next best thing that I'll try. Maybe once this baby gets here and we can get a little bit settled as a family. But I wanted to go over what I do right now and what's worked for me for the last few months, and maybe something similar can help you. So I work strictly from a calendar, just like this, something I picked up from Target, however much, I don't remember. Super affordable, not anything fancy, not anything wild and crazy. But what I do is I plan out my month. So just the same calendar that I share with you guys electronically. I just have it here as well, because I will look at this every day. I won't remember to pull up the calendar. If you do your electronic now, I have my computer hooked up to a printer. So I would probably print the electronic one and put that in here so I don't have to rewrite it. But anyways, that is there, as well as the days I have my babysitters or the kids are at camp, so that I know, when I have a little bit more time to plan bigger stuff for trainings or videos like this or something like that. So I know what days I can fit that in. But what I love about this is that it gives me the full calendar, but then it also gives me the days of the week individually. So each Monday the 1st, Tuesday the 2nd, and today is Wednesday. So this is how I track my business with the Daily Fours. I just go into that day and I write down, adding to my network, the 4 people who I invited, who I followed up with, and who I mentored. And I just write it simple like that. And that's how I track that day. So for example, follow-ups. That's usually the big thing on how you keep track of that. How do you make sure that you're following up with everybody? So what I would do is, today's Wednesday, I would go back into last week or the week before and see when I did my last big invite or when I did my last big follow-up, and I would talk to them. So, here's the list. So I would go back to this list and I would say, okay, I'm going to follow up with these people regarding Shakeology, regarding a challenge group, or whatever it was regarding, I'm going to connect with them today, and that's my follow-up. So then I just go back to the paper and pen. I got overwhelmed with Excel and how to keep track of it, and this wasn't an easy flow for me, but this seems to work. Same thing with invites. I can see and go back to who I invited. With invites, though, now that I primarily do a lot of that through my like page, I can now label. You can label your like page messages. So when you are in your like page, you can create a label. And so when I start messaging people, I automatically put a label on it, whether it's, if I met them because they're pregnant, or the August challenge group, a July challenge group, a free clean eating group, whatever it may be. Maybe they're interested in Shakeology, maybe they're interested in coaching. I have a label for that, and I put that label on our message thread. So that way, if I'm looking for people to follow up with about coaching, I can go into my like page, click on my messages, and filter by, and then click on coaching interest, and it'll pull up everyone that I've labeled with coaching. I can filter by August challenge group, and anyone that I've messaged regarding the August challenge group, it'll pull all of them up, and I can follow up and message and see them right away. So anyone I've talked to about Shakeology, a program or something, I've put a label on them, and so that has really, really helped me stay organized in my follow-ups and in my invites for June, July, and August. So that's how I stay organized. That's how I do my follow-ups and my invites. I hope that helps you a little bit. The other thing, aside from the daily fours and follow-ups, is I really work from a list. So when I sit down today, for example, I sat down, I grabbed just a scrap piece of paper, and I just wrote down, what do I need to do today? I don't have this big fancy binder. I don't have these big fancy papers. I just grab the nearest scrap paper I can find, or sometimes I use the notes app in my iPhone, and I just write down what I want to accomplish that day, what I want to get done. So I need to do my daily fours. I need to follow up. I need to send a few welcome emails and get people plugged into the team page. And that's stuff that I can quickly do and quick check off my list. Now, don't get overwhelmed. If you keep writing a list and you're like, oh, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. Keep this list. So I'll keep this in here and I'll use it tomorrow as well. So I can go back and say, okay, what did I accomplish today? What didn't I accomplish yesterday? And I need to move into today. There's a couple calls on here that I want to get done that I probably won't get to all of them today, but I can move them onto my list tomorrow or Friday. So I keep that list in my binder, and when it's complete, then I throw it out. But I always work from a list, you guys. So I always have a scrap piece of paper or a notebook, and I always have this calendar with me. The other thing that I'm going to start implementing that a coach on our team, Alyssa Anderson, a diamond coach on our team, uses, and I think it's a great idea, is a no notebook. So it's a notebook strictly where all her no's go. And that way, when you sit down and do your follow-ups, you can go work from that list. And again, pen and paper, something that I can have with me, something I can carry with me. And I don't have to worry about it getting lost in the computer. And you can just, week to week, go back and say, okay, when was the last time I talked to this person, or who said no, or who did I talk to, or, what was their objection or something like that. Now, if you're electronic, you can have maybe a Google Drive or an Excel sheet that is just ongoing no's. But I always, for some reason, just forget to fill in stuff electronically, but with paper, I can remember. I don't know. It just, however things are going to function better for you. But that might be a really great way for you to organize your follow-ups and make sure that you are following up with people, is to have a no list, and then maybe the dates that you followed up with them, their objection, and when to follow up next. Whether that's pen and paper, electronic. If you're going to do electronic, I highly recommend Google Drive, so that way you can fill it in on your phone, on your computer, or on anyone's computer. So if you are, if you travel like me and you are on different computers or something, I always have access to my business because I use Google Drive for everything, minus my calendar, which I carry with me. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this gives you guys some insight into how I track my business, how I stay focused, and how I stay organized and following up with people, and then the other little tidbits that I've shared with you. So I hope this helps you. I hope this gives you some something to kind of focus on and a stepping stone, and you can kind of go from here. And you guys, you're gonna try some ways and they're gonna fail. You're gonna try other ways and they're gonna fail. But just keep trying new systems. Keep trying and see how you like it and tweak it to make it your own. And just kind of find your groove, find what works for you, and own it and stick with it. So any system that you have can be effective, but you have to find something that you're going to stick with. That's the key. So find something that you enjoy doing, a method you enjoy, and that doesn't cause a lot of complication for you. So have an awesome day. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys later.